Okay, then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Okay, welcome everyone to this beautiful session, and I look forward um, to speaking to you today about this topic on manifestations. We've already had one session before, and which is on how not to manifest. So we'll just do a little bit of you know kind of going through that as well, how not to manifest, and then we will move forward with some of the understandings that I have received recently about the next step, about the frequency of manifestations itself. So, this is part two. If you haven't watched the first part, then I suggest that you first do that. How not to manifest, even though I'll kind of cover it in this session itself. So here we go. Manifestation, several people teach you how to manifest. Several streams of spirituality and life itself, people who've discovered how to manifest are offering to you how indeed to do so that you can receive whatever it is that you've asked for. As far as I am concerned, on my path, I constantly tell you, don't manifest. Don't manifest. Don't look at manifestations. Don't put your attention over there. Simply put all your attention on the energy. And today, a little bit deeper on why is that I ask you to do that. So let's look at any manifestation. Most of the times, they will ask you to be very aware of what it is that you are asking for. Become very aware and exactly as you wish for the manifestation to happen. What is it that you want to receive? Put a finger on that, make a note of it, constantly think about it. And as you think about it, whatever it is that you've chosen that you want to receive, it could be a new job, it could be something, it could be an event in your life, it could be a person that you're wanting to attract. No matter what the manifestation looks like, they say, be very clear on what you're looking for. Make a note of it, keep it in your mind constantly. And the one thing, keep behaving as if you've already received it. Now, here is where everybody goes a little bit awry. Why is that? Because once we received whatever it is that we've asked for, we no longer have that hunger, that need. Oh my God, I need this. I really, really want this. I wish I could have this. We don't have our wishes and desires in that place anymore once we've received it. So once we've received it, the frequency is of contentment. It's of satisfaction. It's of having, okay, I labored through all of this and now I've received it. So it's a deep breath that you take, a sigh of fulfillment. And so, what are these manifestations mostly asking you to do? Behave as if you've already received that which you were looking for, which means you already need to be. Now that we understand the energies, you already need to be in the energies of contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, happiness at having received. But are you able to do that? Well, probably not. But that's what even everybody who says, okay, manifest what you want, let me teach you how to manifest. But they say, focus on your emotions and focus on this energy as if you already received. If you are able to do that, let me assume if you are able to do that, it'll probably be for a limited time. If you're able to feel happy, you're probably sitting and visualizing, oh, I have this beautiful house that I want to manifest, and this house looks like this, and the house looks amazing, and I'm sitting in the house feeling really, really happy. And you visualize that for a couple of hours, and then what? And then you go back, when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Why hasn't it happened yet? What all do I have to do to make it happen. All of these energies are the ones that stay with you for 23 hours. If you've sat down for 1 hour and visualize that, that's 1 hour out of 24. For the rest of the 23 hours, you are not able to feel that satisfaction, that contentment. And that is why, well, I tell you, don't bother to manifest. Don't bother to manifest. Simply look at the energies that you're in. If you're not sitting in the energies of contentment, if you're not sitting in the energies of, feeling beautiful, feeling joyous, feeling as if the entire universe is working in your favor, if you're not sitting in those energies, pay your attention over there. Put your focus on working within and bringing yourself to these energies. That's my constant ask from each of us, including myself. Bring yourself back to a place of joy. If you're not there, then simply notice that you're still not sitting in the frequency of contentment. But guess what? It's only a frequency. Since it's only a frequency, just a second, let me mute everybody, and I can't figure out. Oh, well. There's people who are unmuted, so let me mute them all. Anchal Amitabh is now muted. Okay, all right. So we were there. Okay, so as you sit for 1 hour, feeling all of this contentment, and then you sit for the next 23 hours, feeling all the lack, can you manifest what you want? Well, here's the most beautiful part. Manifestation does not happen from your conscious thought. Manifestation does not happen from that. Manifestation happens from your constant energy. And so whatever energy that you are holding, it will keep manifesting. If you happen to sit in the energy of lack, lack will keep manifesting. It doesn't mean that you will not receive what you asked for. There are two different things. You might, because that might be the grand design, you might still receive what you've asked for. You might receive exactly the job that you've asked for. You might receive exactly the person, the spouse, the partner, the love that you've asked for. And yet, if you've been sitting in the energy of lack while you asked for that person, guess what is going to manifest? Because you received what you asked for. But is that the end? No, you're still breathing. You're still going to live the next day. You're still going to be experiencing everything beyond that. And where is that beyond going to come from? That beyond so far is being made, manufactured from your energy field. It has always been your energy field that manufactured everything. You just didn't know. You were running outside, you were running helter-skelter to try and organize things for yourself, to try and get something. If only you knew that it's only your energy field, then what would you do? You would sit in abundance. And once you sat in abundance, abundance would show up in your life in so many different ways. I noticed that about my life, and so I offer it to all of you, saying that my frequency is of abundance. And yet, I still keep working on my frequency every single day. I work on it every single day. If I notice lack within, I'm constantly observing it. I'm able to observe. Why? Because I do no other thing. Everything else, the manifestation happens on its own. I simply take care of being aware of my own emotion. It's that simple. Everything in your life is being created from your energy. And so as you hold more and more abundance, more and more equanimity, more and more masti, that's where the whole creation will happen for you, irrespective of whether you ran outside or you didn't run outside, whether you just sat with this thought, what am I feeling? And you were able to clear this thought. As you clear your thoughts of worries, anxieties, fears, the more abundance begins to happen, the more abundance begins to manifest. So, this is where the manifestations are made of. You have to work within to be able to get to this place. So, we've already talked. Well, I speak nothing new as I say this. I speak nothing new ever. But even so, as I talk about abundance and I talk about manifestation, I say there are two different things. Many people come to me very, very excited, saying, oh, you know what, this happened. I asked exactly for this, and this is what has manifested. It must be abundance, and abundance is showing itself to me. For sure, it is showing itself to you in this moment as you sit in joy, enjoying this abundance. And yet, there will be the tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow if you're constantly looking at manifestations to give you joy? Well, the minute the frequency moves from joy to something else, the something else is going to manifest. It's how energy works. Ever since we figured out this beautiful thing about energy, that this moment where you sit in creates the next moment. This moment of joy, if you are creating, this moment, this is what your energy field holds. And when I say the next moment, it doesn't mean the exact next moment. I don't understand exact next moment, but your next life, as in the days moving on, will be created from the ingredients that you have in your energy field. And we've talked about it 1,000 times. You change your ingredient, and that's why I offer this frequency of Meenal. That frequency of Meenal is not the body of Meenal. This is the body of Meenal enjoying the frequency of Meenal. But where am I taking all of my energy from? From these frequencies of Meenal. Where am I giving you the keys to? From these frequencies of Meenal. All the masti that I experience in this life, that's the one that you have keys to when I say simply be in the energy of Meenal. And of course, there are all of these tools that will help you ground yourself more and more in these energies versus some other energies. There are some other energies. Maybe you are holding energies of fear, maybe worry. That too is simply a frequency. We keep saying that, right? I keep reminding you with that. It's just a frequency. You can change it. It's just a channel. You can change it. It's that easy. But the most beautiful part is because it's so easy to change the channel, you can move from sadness to joy in a minute. And you can move back from joy to sadness in the next minute because it's easy. What makes you the power that is able to see all of this? What makes you that power is the awareness. Are you aware where you are operating from right now? Are you operating from joy? Are you operating from fear? Are you operating from love? Are you operating from separation? What are these energies that you are operating from? Only you know. It doesn't matter about what you tell the world. You know what energies you are operating from. Once you know what energies you are operating from, you can be rest assured that in those frequencies, whatever you are holding, that is going to be your next moment of manifestation. And that's how manifestation happens, from your energy, not from your thoughts, not from your affirmations. No, it's one thing that I found. The more you make affirmations, if the affirmations are coming from fear, then the fear will manifest. If the affirmations are coming from joy, then the joy will manifest. In all cases, it will be the energy, the vibration that you make those affirmations with. That is where the maximum manifestation game belongs. You can get something that you want, and even getting something that you want, you already created so much energy of lack while you were creating this. Oh God, I got to run. I got to run. I got to get this. I got to accumulate this. I got to bring this to me. This needs to happen. All of this is fear, worry, lack. And so even when you get what you want, in the next moment, still This fear, worry, lack is where the creation is going to be. So, as I always say, well, there's always the next moment. What are you creating? And so simple, the beautiful answer. The beautiful answer to the question, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Because whatever you are feeling, that's the place of your creation. That is where you got to go and shift if the manifestation is something that you're not enjoying. Okay, so this is about manifestation. Oh gosh, this is just a wrap up of the previous, all the manifestation that I taught so far, saying don't manifest, don't keep your eyes on manifestation. In the last 1 month, I've had several new experiences, and I'll go through those experiences. And through those experiences, money was giving me answers to the next steps of what manifestation looks like. So here's the story. So over the last couple of months, I was having so much fun. I was being made to create programs of travel, and I love to travel. I was being made to create programs to meet with people, all the people like you who do what I'm asking you to do. You grant me that. But with that, you observe miracles in your life and you share those miracles with me. And each of us, you and I, we are in so much joy at the miracles that you are experiencing just because you shifted in this frequency of Meenal. It brings me great joy. So in the last 2 months, I noticed very, very categorically that money was creating all of these plans for me. I go to Rishikesh, I go to another place, I go to Rishikesh again. I go because I'm enjoying that space in Rishikesh so much. I go to Delhi, people are throwing a party, and I'm enjoying that party so much. I come back, people are visiting me from all over the world. I enjoy meeting them so much. So there is so much of masti that's happening, and that's a track that's running. And yet, in all of this, there is a parallel track running. I'm getting some work done in the house, and whatever work I'm getting done, the people who are coming through, and this is guided, this is a guidance choice of who should be working for me. I asked in guidance, I received this name, I gave the contract to that person. And through that person, everything that is manifesting is giving me irritation. There is irritation because the quality of the work that I consider as being good work, that's not happening. The number of days that it's taking to finish the work or bring it anywhere close to completion, that's not happening. And even even though I am that much aware, but when I wake up and I walk into that space where the work is happening, the first emotion that I experience is irritation, anger. So as I kept experiencing this irritation and anger, I'm aware as well. So I'm aware that I'm experiencing irritation and anger. And so, therefore, in that moment, I'm able to shift that. It's just like this, right? So I observe that, oh, I'm coming from irritation. Can I shift this frequency? Of course, I can. I can shift every frequency. That's in my power. That's the miracle that I can create every single day for myself. And so I keep creating this miracle. I keep shifting my frequency every minute. And so for 5 minutes, I'm in irritation. And then for the rest of the time, for 95% of the time, I'm actually in pretty much masti. I'm enjoying, I'm in abundance. I'm having so much fun. And yet, I notice that every single morning, even though I've worked on the irritation just a day before, the irritation is happening again. When things happen to me in a repeat pattern, I completely understand that even if something looks like chaos, even if something is not what I want, whatever looks like chaos is the place where I am experiencing the energy shift. That's where my next answer will come from. Many people, when they're going through chaos and order, they have a preference for order. That would be me as well. I want order in everything. Who doesn't? what if every day was just, something going wrong, something going haphazard? We would be a nervous wreck if we are not aware, but we would be a nervous wreck. So all of us are looking for order. And yet, how important is this chaos? Because chaos is the place which takes us deeper into our journey. Everything is a cycle, everything constantly. We constantly move in circles. The life moves in circles, and the journey is from fear to fearless. That's the journey. However, this journey is through life. And so in life, we keep getting beautiful parts, which we call as order. And then we keep getting these disturbing parts, which we call as chaos. But each time we come to chaos, understand chaos as something like this. When we go to school to get into the next grade, each time we have to, appear for exams. Most of the times we don't think we've studied. And so we go through chaos. There's chaos inside because we know we haven't studied. And so we try to do everything. We try to get answers. We sit for answers. We study. We do everything. And then we go to the examinations. As we go through the exam, if we've indeed studied well, now we are able to enjoy that period. That period is order. But it's a result that we were able to sit through chaos and to be able to find the answers for ourselves. So when chaos happens, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of chaos, because it's only here to take you to the next step. We would otherwise just be sitting in complacence. We are so limited in our understandings that chaos needs to happen. It's not purposeless, this chaos. And what does chaos mean? Chaos means anything that is not happening as per my liking. That's it. It's not happening as per my liking because I don't understand why is it happening at all. I don't need this in my life. Why is my life going through so much turbulence? But turbulence only happens to take you to the next level in your journey. So now, when you do turbulence, be in thankfulness. Be in thankfulness, not just to the turbulence, but also to the actors that are creating that turbulence in our lives. They are those people whose hands we will hold to move to the next step in our journey. So as chaos was happening in my life, I totally knew that this person who's doing my, repair work or my house work and all of the construction work inside my house, he is the actor to bring me to this chaos. He is the one who's disturbing my mental peace, which means that he is the one who's going to take me to the answers. So every single day, as I moved to irritation, I was able to give my thankfulness, my true thankfulness that I know I don't understand right now. It's not like I understood what was going to come to me. And that's why I say we don't need to understand. Firstly, simply be in thankfulness. To understand why Santa has come, what gift is he going to give to me, not important. Just simply be in thankfulness that a Santa has appeared. Looks like chaos. He's trying to come through the chimney. So it totally looks like chaos, but it's okay. You be in thankfulness. That's your only job. So I was able to look at this, at all of this commotion that was happening in my life, and yet keep coming back to centralizing myself, to centering myself in masti, in abundance, and in thankfulness to that person. And yet, every single day, that same person was appearing with same number of problems, no problems getting sorted. And so one day I simply just sat and I asked money, I said, what is it that I'm not seeing right now? It looks like, every single day I move my needle, and yet the first 5 minutes morning of the, starting point of the day, my day looks exactly the same. I'm tuned into irritation. Whatever happened in the last 10 days, if I'm coming back to Bombay in 10 days, whatever happened in the 10 days totally has me irritated. Whatever happened in the last 2 days has me irritated. Everything has me irritated. What do I need to understand about this? And the first thing Mani showed to me was pay attention. It's your energies manifesting. So it was so beautiful because I was able to observe that everything is manifesting just like this. It's manifesting. I get irritated in the morning. By the afternoon, something else has happened that it irritates me. But because I come from awareness, I've already looked at that irritation. I've already processed that irritation. I've already, crossed out, okay, what if this, what if that? Therefore, when the irritation comes up next, I'm actually simply able to sit and laugh at it. So I laugh at that irritation, and guess where the needle is sitting as I'm laughing? It's sitting on masti. I've brought it to equanimity. I've brought it to abundance. I've brought it to masti. And I insist that this is where I will sit. And so Mani showed to me that there are these two parallel tracks that were running in my life. I'm in irritation, 5%, and I'm in masti, 95%, because I've moved the needle to masti. And so, what is the manifestation? 95% of the time, I'm in masti outside. I'm visiting, I'm having fun, I'm meeting with people. People are expressing their love to me, I'm expressing love right back. There is so much of joy, there is so much of masti that's happening 95% of the time. However, that 5% irritation, bang on, creating 5% of irritation in the next moment, in the next moment. So as Mani said, look, there are these two parallel tracks. Have you observed that everything now doesn't take time? It doesn't take time. It just happens right like that. And I sat with that information. And then I noticed in the last couple of days, so many people wrote to me and they were talking to me about Kali. Couple of people saw me in their vision as Kali. Then somebody who didn't see me right now, somebody saw me, almost 6 months ago. But the conversation that she brought into, when we were talking was, do you remember the time that I saw you as Kali? When I hear one word again and again in my ears, I know that there is something that I need to understand. And so I sat down and asked Mani. I said, what is it that I need to know about Kali? What is Kali here to show me? What do I need to understand about Kali? And so Mani said to me, okay, go back to the time. Just give me a second, everybody. Okay. So as I asked Mani, what is it that I need to understand about Kali? What is it that, why is this name being thrown at me all the times? And he said, go back to the time that you first heard about the frequency of Kali. Now, here's the thing. Each of these deities that we talk about, each of them holds a frequency. And I've talked about it many times. For example, Shiva is the frequency of non-judgment. And then we say, when we are able to release our judgments, then we sit in the frequency of Shiva. We are Shiva. When we sit in this frequency of unconditional love for the self, when you're able to love ourselves no matter what, then we sit in the frequency of unconditional love. There are many deities, there's Christ, there's Krishna. These are all frequencies of unconditional love towards the self. And so we understand that each of these are simply, they're a symbol of, the frequencies that they hold. And so Shiva is not a person. Shiva is a frequency, and it's a frequency of non-judgment. Kali, I had been told it was a frequency of manifestation. This information, as it came to me from Ramakrishna, when I was in 2017 traveling to Calcutta, experiencing for the first time, he had called me over there saying, I think I need to teach you surrender. Well, he thought that to himself. But, there I was in Calcutta, and constantly I was receiving understandings about what surrender actually means. So what surrender means, what surrender is not. In those days, I used to consider that, okay, fine, when you have no choices left, and then you go and surrender to God. Okay, fine, I can't get this, I can't get that. Okay, I surrender. whatever you wish, whatever you make it happen, I am okay with that. Well, now that we know, we all know that's not surrender, that's defeat. And so now we know that when we are able to comprehend, to understand deep within, we have the knowing that the universe is playing in our favor. Then, even when the outside doesn't look like it's playing in our favor, we sit in this deep knowing the universe, it's playing in my favor. This outside manifestation is a part of the universe. Therefore, it must be playing in my favor without doubt. When we're able to sit in that, then surrender simply brings joy. Because whoever I surrender to money, I surrender to Shiva, I surrender to Christ, it doesn't matter. I'm surrendering to frequencies that are me only. And so the frequency that we surrender to in that moment, now we surrender with joy because we understand that the universe is playing in our favor. So when I had first gone to Ramakrishna and he had shown me that frequency of Kali is the frequency of manifestation. The frequency of Kali is exactly, that frequency which brings instant manifestations to you. And so quickly I recognized that, wow, I'm sitting right now in the frequency of Kali. I must have done that much inner work or whatever that I'm now able to experience the frequency of Kali. And that's why so many people were also seeing me in the form of Kali and all of that. The visions come, this is just information. It no longer even feels like a miracle to me because this is information. Okay, you're sitting in what frequency? Okay, Kali frequency. Okay, I'm going to watch it this way. Why? Because you are sitting in the same frequency band that I'm sitting in. So you will have the same information that I have. It's all the information that's available. It's freely available at that frequency band. So I'm sitting in the frequency of Kali and I begin to observe. As soon as I have some irritation, irritation manifests. As soon as I'm able to move it to Masti, Masti manifests. As I looked at that, my first thought was, oh my God, I have to be so careful now of what I think. Because whatever I think is manifesting. And the manifestation happens not from the thought itself, but from the energy behind the thought. And so, no matter what I'm thinking, but if the energy that I'm holding is that of irritation, irritation is manifesting more and more. And I was able to see how I was creating that frequency of irritation to manifest for me more and more. And the first thing that I felt from that space was fear, fear of manifestation itself. And so in this next step, because all of you are taking frequencies from me, all of you are going to be able to see that somehow the speed of manifestations is much quicker. Okay, so that is why we are here with this topic. It doesn't matter whether you've been tuning into the frequency of Meenal for one day or you've been tuning into it for the last 6 years. It doesn't matter because the minute you tune in, that's when you are already sitting in my frequency. That's how the manifestations are already happening from my frequency. So the next time you observe that you thought of something and something exactly happened in very little time, it just purely manifested, then what is the first step that you need to do? You need to release your fear of manifestation. I promise you, it will come. If it's not already come, it will come. Because that's how we feel when we suddenly see speed. We're like, oh my God, we can't think of anything that mind works in 1,000 different directions. Now we got to be so careful about what we think because it's going to manifest. And how beautiful is this? As soon as I want to be careful about something or the other, what frequency am I already sitting in? The frequencies of fear. So what stops you from manifestations already all of this while? What takes, people say it takes time, but why does it take time? Because the fears are not processed. So right now, the first thing that you do whether you've been observing those manifestations or not. But as it begins to happen, you observe your manifestation. If fear is the frequency that you are naturally getting tuned into, well, release your fear. And I'll give you help, because that's the help that I got in understanding why we don't need to be fearful of the manifestations that are happening from the frequency of Kali. In the frequency of Kali, everything will happen. When you are Kali, who are you not? Kali has zero resistance towards one frequency. Kali has zero preferences of another frequency. Kali is just out there having fun, whatever frequency she is sitting in. So this frequency of Kali, as it creates manifestations, let us say for me, it was creating manifestation from the frequency of irritation. In this frequency, that thought, oh, I shouldn't create from irritation, it doesn't come. And so money told me, okay, take a look at your preference. And I said, oh, definitely. Why? So he said, why are you fearful of your manifestations? I said, because every time irritation is manifesting as more irritation. I don't want to sit in more irritation. And money said, no. What if irritation is your frequency now for always? This is going to be your frequency from now till you quit this body. And I laughed, because the one thing that I've kind of sort of understood, that there is nothing called always, there is nothing called never. Time doesn't exist in the energies. Space doesn't exist in the energies. So there's nothing called always, there's nothing called forever, there's nothing called never. It's simply a play of your frequency. So as he said this, I kind of laughed and I said, yeah, it won't always be there, but whatever this frequency of irritation is here to show me, I'm open to receiving the answers. Where do the answers belong? It was so beautiful that I got to see for myself that why don't I want to grow the frequency of irritation? Because I'm scared. I'm fearful that that will become the whole of my life. Everything in my life will keep creating irritation. Okay. So everything in my life creates irritation. What's the problem? The problem in my head was this. As more and more irritation is created, what will reduce? Obviously, the equanimity, obviously, the masti, obviously, my joy. The more irritated I am, the less joyous I am. My frequency of now, irritation, is going to create my next moment, which is going to be irritation, because that's how empty my pot is. So manifestations are happening that quickly. And it was so beautiful, because in that moment, Mani said to me, in this frequency of Kali, when you are sitting in the frequency of Kali, here is the beautiful part. Now, no longer, because in the frequency of Kali, there is instant manifestation. Time doesn't exist. Time doesn't exist. This is a very important sentence, that you have already come to a frequency. You're already sitting in Meenal frequency where time doesn't exist. As time doesn't exist, this program that our frequency so far creates the frequency ahead. In this frequency, it no longer exists, because today this frequency is all there is. If time doesn't exist, there is no link to what is going to manifest tomorrow. So the frequency of irritation is independent of whatever is going to be created in the next moment. It's simply a frequency. The frequency of irritation is bringing me irritation in this moment. The next moment, will it be? Well, till the time we operate from programs of time, it will constantly be something that we will have to release. But as we sit more and more in the frequency of Kali, in the frequency of manifestation, time as a concept simply doesn't exist. Why? Because in that moment, you are sitting so much in the energy space. That energy doesn't work in time and space. But the minute you are sitting in the manifested body space, when you're only simply, narrowly experiencing your body, then you are that 1% that has come to experience time. And so time simply will, it will become manifested in that moment. But the minute you are in Kali frequencies, time doesn't exist. How beautifully we will keep playing in both of these parts, because we've come to earth in a body to experience not just the body, but also the energy. Not just the energy, but also the body. And so these experiences are going to be intermingled. But as soon as we are able to release our fear that this moment will give rise to another moment. This moment of irritation is giving rise to the next moment of irritation, but time doesn't exist, so the next moment doesn't exist. I'm talking to you about this. I recognize for some people it is simply a talk, but here is the thing. If you sit in Meenal frequency, this is going to be experiential very, very quickly. Either it has been or it's going to be. So just simply, I'm making you aware that when it does become experiential for you, you will have the answers of what to do next. I already go through. So that's my only job. I go through experiences. I'm shown all of these angles so that I can simply produce them on a platter for you, and you can enjoy your journey. You chose a shorter journey, and so you are receiving it. I must have chosen a longer journey, but I'm still having fun with this beautiful journey. So, as time doesn't exist, this moment of irritation is simply a moment of irritation. It doesn't carry on next to create another moment of irritation. How freeing is that in this frequency? So, whatever exists, we enjoy. And that was Mani's next step to me. He said, enjoy whatever frequency you are sitting in. If it's the frequency of joy, you think of it to be divine. If it's the frequency of surrender, you think of it to be divine. If it's the frequency of love, oh, sure, it's divine. Why is irritation not divine? I'd understood that as knowledge, as something that when he said every frequency is divine, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Every frequency is divine. Now, can I please go back to Masti? Because even while every frequency is divine, I have a preference to make, I have a preference towards Masti. In the frequency of Kali, in the frequency of manifestation, Kali has zero preference. Kali is the frequency of instant manifestation with no attachment to previous and next. And so every experience just is. So enjoy. This is the place, all of this while we always talked about doing the positivity process. As you do the positivity process, I always remind you, firstly, we're not running away from the emotion. We are not running away from fear. We are not running away from anger. We first have to accept that this is a frequency. It belongs to me. It's a frequency, and I can unsubscribe. This step is a step a little bit deeper, because not only am I accepting and allowing, but literally I'm telling whatever frequency there is, I'm going to sit in it and completely enjoy it, because I no longer sit in fear of that frequency itself. Why has the fear come back again? Now it's going to manifest more fear. No, fear has come back. Okay, let it play out as it is, because my next moment now, if I'm able to release my fear of manifestation, then this moment will not carry over to the next moment. It could, it might not. But whatever the moment is, I will be playing in that moment as it is, with zero need to change the frequency itself. Okay, I've been talking for a long time. I saw many questions coming up, so I'm going to read some of those questions. Okay, give me a minute. I need to get my glasses. All right, people. So here we are. Okay. Um, how to come out of repeat patterns of a family. Something that I see repeating again and again, and yet I'm aware, but at the same time, I feel how to move forward from here. A repeat pattern, okay, it's happening in the family, okay. But as you see that, what is it that you are feeling? You have to work on that. Okay, then. So you just have to work on that. I don't have any new answers for that. The question always remains exactly this: what am I feeling? You see a repeat pattern. Okay, that repeat pattern might be creating five different emotions in other people. Okay, what is the emotion it's creating in you? That's the place where you have to work. Somebody says cold feet happens. Akanksha says cold feet happens. Okay, I don't understand. It's great if cold feet happens. Now, what is it that I need to understand about your cold feet? Okay. Somebody else is writing to me saying, release the fear of chaos and accept it. Not just release the fear of chaos. Understand that it is an important ingredient in your journey from fear to fearlessness. So thank the chaos. Simply thank the chaos for being there, because if chaos wasn't there, you wouldn't be moving forward into more and more fearlessness. You'd just be simply growing more of the fear. And so when chaos happens, you look for different answers. This is happening, this is repeating, it's not going away. Whatever I know is not working, I need new answers. And then you go looking around somewhere, and your energy will send you to the place where your answers are. Your answers for that moment, no matter what they be. So thank the chaos and not just accept it, not just let go of the fear of chaos, but simply to be in gratitude for the chaos, to be looking at it in this way, that the chaos is here to move you forward. The chaos is not here because nobody in the universe loves you. The chaos is because everybody in the universe loves you too much. So that's why chaos is happening to you, because they love you too much. They want you to move in your journey so much faster. So that is why accept, allow, and thank the chaos. We were talking about fears of manifestations and to be releasing those fear of manifestations. So here is the beautiful part, as always, how paradoxes play out. As I was able to, so Mani said to me, be more in awareness and simply let your irritation play. Now, each time so the one thing that I want to make very, very clear is all of this irritation is still in awareness. I'm clearly aware that I'm playing in irritation. And Mani says, don't change it. So I'm even aware that I'm playing in irritation and not changing it. The awareness is the only game. The awareness of your own emotion. Family has these 48 different emotions. What am I to be aware of? Not the family's 48 emotions, your own list of emotions. And so as chaos happens around me, I'm grounded and aware that it's still happening from irritation. And Mani says to me, not only, why do you think that only your masti is divine? Why is it that only your joy is divine? Now understand that every frequency in awareness is simply divine. So this irritation that you have, complete awareness of the irritation, this is a divine frequency. Simply be aware of it, be watching it, be an observer of it, and it's divine. So accept it, but not just accept it. Now we go a level higher. When something is divine, what do we do? If we are to know that something in our, masti frequency is divine, what do? Oh my God, we do the meditations 5 times in a day just so that we can tune into the masti frequency. All right, then that's exactly how we have to understand the irritation frequency as well. Not just accept it, not just allow it, but to hug it, to welcome it into our lives. So to welcome every frequency in our life can only happen if we have released the fear of that frequency. Otherwise, what do we say? or if we are irritated the whole time, our loved ones will not enjoy our company. If we are angry all the time, you will ruin whatever is happening at the job. And firstly, to release this fear of the tomorrow being not in your favor. And this is how you release your fears, and you just let them be, that this is the moment. This is the moment of irritation. This is the moment of anger. And here's the beautiful paradox. As soon as you're observing that irritation so closely, and you allow it, and you hug it, and you welcome it already changes. It just changes right there and then. It changes. I'm still being irritating and irritated at the person who's doing the work for me, but I can see within myself that that irritation is actually reducing. Why? Because I'm welcoming it so much. That is how beautiful the paradoxes are. That's how energies work. The more you are in observation, the more you are in allowance, the more you are in acceptance, the more you are welcoming your life and the flow that your life carries, the more masti you will be in. So when Mani said to me, oh, now irritation is going to be your frequency for the rest of your life, and I laughed because how beautiful it is. The minute he said that, it wasn't to give me a guidance saying, this is what is going to happen. No, no. That guidance came to show me my fear. What would happen if it indeed irritation was my frequency for the rest of my life? And so I was able to look at that fear and to release it. As soon as I release fear, what is bound to happen? More masti. And so I immediately came into this beautiful, joyous state as soon as I released my fear of my own irritation, my fear of a frequency. That, okay, this is irritation frequency, it's everywhere. If I tune into it more and more, in this moment, as I sit in Kali frequency, the next moment is not made from this. So here is the next step of manifestation for all of you. Till the time we are sitting in the body, time exists, and therefore this connect exists. That our frequency of today is creating the energy field for us. This still remains the first step. As you become more and more fearless, as you can release your fear of manifestations more and more, then you will come to this place of equanimity for any frequency that is playing by. Alternately, as you move from the opposite side, the more you can release your frequency fear, that this frequency, oh my God, no. That frequency, oh my God, hell no. The more you can release your frequency of fears of manifestation, the more you will be sitting in this instant manifestation frequency of Kali. So both of them, it works equally this way or that way. But all that we have to do now is release our fear of manifestation. If you are sitting in lack, you've been sitting in lack for 10 years now, okay. Now, as you break the time connect, I'm the frequency of Kali because I'm taking frequency of Meenal, and this is already being experienced by her. So even if you've been sitting in lack for the last 10 years, your last 10 years are no longer connected to your next moment. How freeing is that? You simply take on this frequency of Meenal more and more. Now, even if lack comes, no longer feeling the need to release the lack, simply releasing the fear of the lack continuing as a manifestation. Because in this frequency of instantaneous manifestation, nothing matters. Everything just will simply manifest, and you will be dancing all through it. I see some more questions. Let's go to them. Does self-sabotage also come from fear of manifestation of your dreams? Of course, absolutely. Self-sabotage, you keep thinking, okay, your dream, I hope I had this dream, I hope it doesn't manifest. It's just fear. I hope this doesn't happen. I don't want this to happen. purely fear. So release the fear, and then that's the next step forward. I've been tuning into yours and money's frequency daily for a good amount of time. When I ask for guidance, he's showing me marriage. Initially, it was a happy feeling, and now it's creating cold feet and anxiety. So fun. So, as he's showing you marriage, that's an outcome. And that outcome, just as he showed me an outcome. From now until forever, you are going to be sitting in the frequency of irritation. What did it do for me? Yeah, created a lot of anxiety and cold feet for about 2 minutes. Yeah. And then I laughed because nothing is outside, everything is only within. So he's brought up this topic only to show you that this topic still creates anxiety and separation with yourself. So the work is not outside. The work is not who will I find? What will they do? What will the guy look like? It doesn't matter. Those are actors. But money gave you this one word in guidance, marriage. And look, so as soon as that cold feet and anxiety is created, the work is on this cold feet and anxiety. Marriage happens, marriage doesn't happen. Zero emotions related to that. It doesn't matter. If marriage happens, there'll be one more actor added who will give you, everything that you need to receive in terms of whatever you are holding. If marriage doesn't happen, the absence will give you everything that you need to receive. So everything that you need to receive will happen. Whether it happens through a paper called marriage. I mean, how important can a paper be? I can eat up a paper, So you can, you can literally cook the paper today in some gravy and have it for dinner tonight. Your marriage certificate, right? So doesn't mean anything. A marriage as a concept doesn't mean anything, but you still have emotions of fear stuck to that. And so money gives you in guidance this word. Now the job is not to look at marriage, but the job is to look at the word and to look at the emotions associated with it. Yeah. Got that answer? Okay. Yeah, somebody wants to speak to me? I can hear some shuffle happening. Anybody has any questions? Ananya, you want to speak to me? I see you unmuted.
Oh, I didn't realize I was unmuted. Sorry.
That's okay. No, that's okay. I thought you wanted to speak. You wanted to ask a question because you did. Okay. All right. Okay. The journey is so in parallel. I relate so much when you say irritation, fear, anxiety, fear of fear. I've been going through so much for the past month with various actors. And last week, when I went into a meeting, I thought of Kali frequencies, and now you do this webinar. Wonderful, fabulous. Somebody says they got all the answers. That's beautiful because I understand that everybody who's tuning into my frequency will be experiencing this. Whether you've noticed it or you've not noticed it, that's just a game of the awareness. But even if you've not noticed it, now that you know, you will actually be able to notice the speed of your manifestation. Why? Because when I receive something, no matter what I receive it through, whether I worked on it or I'm constantly adding more and more masti to my own frequencies. And now all of you are Meenal, so you are adding so much masti to it too. So things happen to me, but answers come to me, and these answers are also equally meant for you. These answers are meant for you so that when your awareness is taken to some event, now you know what needs to be done. If you feel the fear of manifestation, now you know what needs to be done. You need to break the link that, okay, this is time related. My frequency of today is going to create the parallel moment. On one step, that is the truth. On the step that we were sitting in all of this while, where we are emptying our energy field, then it's very, very important that we keep releasing because we are emptying. And then when we come to this one particular stage, it's almost like when we move one step up, we got to leave all the programs that were relevant for that step were relevant for that step. Now we're taking the next step in, and the new program says that the time doesn't exist, so the next moment doesn't exist. When we were unawares, we were sitting at yet another step. All of our fears, every fear frequency thought that we had, it was meant for us. On that step, those programs were necessary. Then we moved to the step of awareness. We were able to leave some of those programs behind, and we formed these new programs. I am simply not this body, I am energy. The universe is playing in my favor. Muting Ananya again. Ananya, you're still on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Ananya, please stay muted. Okay. So, yes, so as we were talking, the every step has its own programs, and those programs serve us. So we had the steps that were when we were unaware and acting from fear, we were in the frequencies of fear. Those programs were meant to us at that point in time. When we came into awareness, new set of programs, the universe is playing in my favor, I am taken care of, and this moment creates the next moment. So let me change my energy field. That was the next step in awareness. As we move into more and more emptying of our energy field, even this program that all of our energies are creating our future. When I'm Kali, I'm not just my energy, I'm the universe. I'm every frequency there is. And so simply then becomes the program of releasing the fears for every frequency there is. So I sit now simply observing what frequency is playing now. Ah, I'm acting from this frequency. Now, not even a need to release that frequency, but simply to be an observer through and through. No releases. Now, if the if the if the thought of not being able to release something gives you fear, then you know where you have to go and work. So the work is always within, but the answers have all been given to you about manifestation. Does anybody have, I mean, not all been given, but whatever I received in the last 2 or 3 days, those answers are here for you. Okay, I'm being reminded. So I'll read out I'll read out this piece that I received when I sat. I shared this piece with a smaller number of people yesterday. I'm simply going to read out these 2 or 3 pages that I received of my guidance. And it says so. And there comes a time when you begin to manifest instantly, immediately, and you are filled with wonder and you are filled with fear. What if every thought manifests? What if every emotion, every feeling manifests? Can I think no wrong? Should I think no ill? How should I manifest? What should I manifest? Kali, the frequency of manifestation. And when you are Kali, fearless you are. Any manifestation is allowed. Every outcome is welcome. The judgment of good, bad, ugly experiences released. It's a judgment, so it's released. The preference of one experience over another, released. We prefer masti over irritation, released. All experiences divine, all emotions divine. So then I asked how to understand this release of judgment, how to become so fearless, how to welcome every experience as divine. The answer, Kali, the frequency of manifestation. Manifestation doesn't take time anymore. Time doesn't exist, and now you are experiencing the non existence of time. Till you experience time, this program works with you and for you. What is the program? Your emotion in the now creates your next experience. What you collect in your energy field creates your next reality. The frequency that you are tuned in, the experience of that frequency carries over to the next moment and the next. And so you are told, be aware, choose your frequency, choose your next moment, create your next moment. And through awareness of every moment, you come to this frequency where only this moment exists, only the now. Time as a factor disappears. That's Kali, the now manifestation. And here is the beautiful part. At this frequency, because time doesn't exist, the next moment is not created from your experience of the now. The manifestation of the next moment is completely disconnected from the experience of this moment. All that remains is the awareness of this emotion, the awareness of this experience. The next moment will be created not from your energy field, but from your wish. Anything that you wish for will manifest. And in this space of Kali, you have already released your attachments to outcomes and wishes. So the only wish is of masti. And as you come to equanimity with, if masti, so what? If not masti, so what? Paradoxically, as always, more masti is created. And so continues the cycle. And this time, no fear of any emotion, now manifesting again and again. The program of next moment, aka time, doesn't hold true in your frequency anymore. Kali, you are, create fearlessly, observe fearlessly. Om Mani. So create fearlessly, observe fearlessly. Your energies are simply for your masti. Okay, everyone. If there are no questions anymore, let me just check. If anybody wants to speak, share, comment, please go ahead, do so. If your questions have not been answered, or at least you think they've not been answered, simply go through this webinar again. They will sink in. The vibration, the resonance of those answers will sink in a little bit more, and you will receive guidances that will guide you perfectly to the same answers that are there for all of us. This answer is not mine alone. It is for everyone, everybody, all together. All right, lots and lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Bye, everybody. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Meenal.